Welcome. This is Meditation. I'm Rebecca, and I am coming to you from the West Coast today. I'm very happy to be here visiting with my dad and stepmother, and it's always lovely to spend time. So we have been talking in our classes in the last couple of weeks really about the nature of insight meditation and really what it's about, that we choose an anchor, which I like to call sacred center. And we've talked about it being breath or another sensation, maybe something you're looking at, something you're hearing. And then we talked about some gestures like twiddling thumbs or, blooming lotuses in your hands. There are lots of different ways of creating focus. But that's the first instruction, is to create focus. And then the next instruction is to notice when your mind has drifted away from that focus. And here's the key, that we must notice with compassion, without judgment. So noticing and then returning back to sacred center. And possibly as distractions come up, noticing what they are without allowing ourselves to get hooked to those distractions. So you might notice that you're thinking about something, or you're feeling something emotionally, or you're having a sensation in your body. And sometimes it's helpful to notice what those things are, because patterns may emerge. If you find yourself thinking about the same thing repeatedly, there may be a message in there somewhere. But again, the key is not to get hooked by those thoughts. So we come back to our focus again and again and again. This is an awareness practice, a mindfulness practice. Mindfulness of body, of our physical selves, mindfulness of our breath, that might be our sacred center, and mindfulness of our mind, what comes up as we get quiet. And again, without judgment and with great compassion. So today, I'd like to do a meditation. We've done this before, that I learned from my teacher, Jivana Heyman, who founded Accessible Yoga. And he teaches how yoga can be adapted for every body, every person. Everyone can do yoga. And of course, meditation is yoga. Yoga is meditation. So we're not going to be doing a physical practice today, but it is still yoga, believe it or not. So in a moment, I'm going to lead us into our grounding practice, and then we're going to do a yes meditation. Yes, Y-E-S. Celebrating the mind and our ability to be creative. Jivana says there is a misconception that a clear mind is the goal of meditation. But in this practice, we'll let the mind be free, recognizing that it's part of ourselves, that the mind thinks. We'll become aware of the quality of our minds, and anytime a thought, image, memory, or strong feeling comes to mind, we'll acknowledge it with the word yes. And then come back each time to the breath or whatever we're using as our sacred center. All right, let's take our meditative seats. And for some of us, that might be sitting in a chair or on your couch or sitting on a cushion. It might be lying down. Wherever you choose to be, make sure that you feel safe and that you are well supported. So if you're sitting up, then I recommend that you not be all slumped, because it's harder to breathe that way. So make sure you're comfortably supported so you can sit up nice and tall. Make sure that your arms are supported so that you're not holding them up with your shoulders. If you're lying down, make sure that you feel well supported by whatever is beneath you, the floor or your couch or bed, and that there's room for you to expand and breathe. And once you find your meditative seat, let's take a moment to become very aware of your environment, of what is around you. Noticing the sights that you might see, colors and light, maybe patterns, textures. And then if it's comfortable, you might close your eyes or take a soft, unfocused gaze, knowing that I'll keep my eyes open. And then begin to settle into your breath. For some of us, a breath focus is not comfortable, so just ignore this part and settle into your body. But if breath is comfortable for you, just be aware of the sensation of breathing. Sometimes becoming aware of it makes us want to change it. So notice that and come back to the idea of just being aware of the breath without feeling the need to change it. Notice where you feel it. Maybe it's at the tip of your nose or the back of your throat, or maybe in your chest or belly. Notice where the breath goes as it enters the body, as it leaves the body. And then allow that awareness to fade into the background because the body breathes with or without our attention. So, settling into your space, relaxing through your feet and legs, letting your legs be heavy and well supported. Settle through your hips and soften in your lower back and lower belly, allowing a full excursion of breath. Noticing your chest, rising and falling perhaps. Try to let the breath drop lower into your belly. The sensation of breath. Softening between your shoulder blades. Allowing your shoulders to drop away from your ears. Arms supported, hands soft, unclenched. Swallow and soften through your throat, your neck and jaw. Maybe your teeth are parted, your lips together. Become aware of the muscles of your face. We tend to hold tension around our mouths, around our eyes, between our eyebrows. See if you can just bring your awareness to softening in all of those places. And then notice the crown of your head. Quiet the breath for just a moment and notice its movement slowly. We're just observing the breath, no need to deepen it, just allowing it to be moving on its own, slowly and smoothly. We're really celebrating the mind's ability to think and be creative and spontaneous. Sometimes in meditation there's a sense of trying to stop the mind or controlling the mind. But for today, let's let the mind be free. But see if you can have part of yourself, part of your consciousness aware of what the mind is doing. The way I like to do that this is from Jivana Heyman, is to say the word yes. Anytime I notice my mind wandering or a thought appearing, and a thought could be words, it could be an image, a memory, a strong feeling, any feeling is a thought. So anytime something comes up in the mind like a bubble rises to the surface, you can celebrate it with the word yes. I invite you to breathe comfortably to begin to witness the mind. Stepping back just slightly to notice the thoughts as they arise. And each time a thought arises, no matter how small that thought may seem or minor it may seem, see if you can quietly repeat the word yes. An acceptance, an awareness, silently to yourself or even out loud, the word yes. We'll sit for a few moments of silence and again repeat the word yes when you notice the mind is wandering. We'll come into some quiet. small movements into hands and feet, arms and legs. If you're lying down, you might turn your head side to side and roll to one side before making your way up to sitting. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om, which is the sound of the universe. If you'd like to join, we'll bring hands together at heart center and inhale. Om Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for sharing your practice with me and with each other.